You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. Very quickly before I forget, guys, make sure you subscribe on podcast. We're available wherever podcasts are available. And it's the audio to our videos, so in case you get too busy, you can go over there and just run the list. So let's talk about Ezekiel Elliott, who may or may not come out and said 3 teams were interested in him yesterday. There's some actual controversy around that. I almost did that video yesterday, but I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I waited because Zach Taylor, a coach that has quickly sort of raised himself up the pecking order of coaches around the league. You know, he was an easy shit on me target about 2 years ago, and then the Bengals made the Super Bowl, and you're like, And then, boom, last year, they make the AFC Championship game. And famously, I did a video where he so vividly mouthed the words, "This is rigged," during the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. And I was like, hell, I like this dude. Not to mention, he got his team so fired up in the fact that they were getting, in the wake of the Damar Hamlin situation, the Bengals were getting screwed, obviously, by the NFL. There was a blatant agenda to try to get the Bills and the Chiefs in a neutral site. Hey, we're testing this out, AFC Championship game. There were coin flips and all kinds of things, and it emerged. Look, Zach Taylor got his entire team mad as hell about that. And, in fact, that was a big story for us back in January. Well, let's get to this because it seems that in the wake of Ezekiel Elliott saying, hey, there may or may not be 3 teams chasing me, and he names them. He says the Eagles, Jets, and Bengals are chasing him. Well, yeah, we're going to find out. And once again, this may be one that Adam Schefter takes a big, fat, juicy L on. Now, we know it seems Adam Schefter is swinging and missing a lot more lately. Of course, the supposed messiah of ESPN, NFL insiders, he's had his ass handed to him on a platter by Aaron Rodgers. It's been a beautiful thing. I'm not the biggest fan of mainstream media. I really like these self-built outlets like Outkick. Clay Travis built that from scratch. Mike Florio built Pro Football Talk from scratch just because he loved the NFL, and that's what he wanted to attempt to do for a living. That's what me and John did. Hey, we'd like to cover sports for a living. We built this shit from scratch. So I got respect for that. Former Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott has narrowed down his options about where to play in 2023 to the Eagles, Jets, and Bengals, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Elliott, 27, would like to make a decision about where to sign by the end of next week, sources told Schefter. When he does play with a new team, it likely will be in a number other than 21 he wore for the Cowboys for the past 7 seasons. On Thursday, Elliott tweeted, "I want my number 15 back," referring to his number at Ohio State. With the Eagles, Elliott would join a backfield of newly signed Rashad Penny, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, and Gainwell flashed last year, and Trey Sermon. Miles Sanders, the Eagles' leading rusher, signed with the Carolina Panthers. In New York, Elliott would join a depth chart led by Breece Hall, Ty Johnson, and they have Zonovan Knight and Michael Carter on the roster. If you went to the Bengals, of course, Joe Mixon's there, Chris Evans, and Travion Williams. Oh, wow, Samarji P. Ryan, I didn't even see that. Bolted for the Broncos. How about that? So, look, Elliott got cut because his salary was insane. It was one of the more worst contracts in the league we have seen in a while. Not up there with Deshaun Watson, but it was pretty damn bad. So Florio did a story on this, and he kind of calls out Adam Schefter and all this, and we also got a quote from Zach Taylor, and it's a beautiful thing. So Taylor says there's a lot of great players that are available right now. Bengals coach Zach Taylor said Thursday night via Mike Dyer of WCPO TV, and let's just get a little glimpse of a cut.
There's a lot of great players that are available right now. We like our team is where it's at right now, but it's always funny when things get thrown around. Sometimes it's the first you hear of it, but that's just the way life works. There's a lot of great.
Okay, now there was a part of that, I don't know if you caught it, that makes Adam Schefter look very bad. This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, but that's the way life works. Now think about that a minute. Okay? Schefter throws this out, and then Zach Taylor, the actual coach of the Bengals, says, I like where our team is at right now. It's always funny when these things get around. Sometimes it's the first you hear of it. I mean, look, that makes Schefter look pretty bad here. The way life works is, in some cases, a reporter will do a favor for an agent. Exactly. By helping to create a market. The agent calls up. Adam Schefter obviously would have relationships with the agents all over the league. The agent calls him up, say, hey, I need it floated out there that Elliott's got interest and or vice versa from the Bengals, Jets, and Eagles. This is his wish list. Now, it doesn't look so great when you start circling back around and Taylor and the club, one of the clubs, literally comes out and says, the answer would be a no. Not only is it a no, we don't know anything about this. Oh, God, it's such a clown show at ESPN. My God. But clearly it's implied that Zeke isn't barking up an empty tree in any of those three cities. To summarize, Elliott has narrowed his options to the Bengals, Jets, and Eagles. Taylor's comments would seem to be a no. Per multiple sources, the Jets and the Eagles aren't currently interested either. Yikes. I mean, that is, I don't know what happened there between Schefter and Ezekiel Elliott, but Schefter looks like a total tool. It's hard to blame Elliott because if this is part of how the game's played, okay. Now, when you start breaking down his numbers, look, Ezekiel Elliott is no longer a 3-down running back, okay? Really and truly, probably shouldn't have been for the last 2, some could even argue 3 seasons, all right? But when you go look at his numbers and you start breaking it down, there's a couple of potential benefits to Ezekiel Elliott even now. He is a great blocker in the passing game, okay? Great. That makes him a definite contender for third down back because he can and is a pretty good catcher of the football out of the backfield. All right? The other thing is goal line running back. He's got even now, with all that wear and tear, he rushed for 12 touchdowns last year. That's a lot, okay? That's more than Joe Mixon had on the ground, by the way. Their numbers are really similar. They both started 14 games, but where you see the big difference, Mixon scored 2 touchdowns in the passing game, and he caught 300 more yards in the passing game, okay? The Cowboys threw the ball a little more to Tony Pollard last year. So, look, do I think at 27, it's hard to believe, Elliott's only 27, but at his age, do I think he could be valuable in certain circumstances with certain teams? Yeah, I do, provided they only want to use him, say, on third down, right? He's not an every down back anymore. He's not. I've said, this is no inclinations. Nobody's dropped me any emails or sourced me on this. But I've just said I think he feels like he might be a good situation down in Tampa as a third down guy. And don't sleep on Bill Belichick and his love for veteran, aging running backs and also using them as a third down situation, okay? But it's pretty clear. Zach Taylor, what? Ezekiel who? Who's that? It's rigged. Oh, shit. Peace. I'm out. Till next time, Schefter looks like an idiot right now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.